justice. But the same Supreme Court that she just got appointed to made one of the most asinine rulings I ever seen, when they not only repealed Roe versus Wade, but also because Roe versus Wade encompassed a lot of things that people don't know about. Like, for example, Roe versus Wade also encompasses privacy of healthcare, which means that it used to be where a job couldn't ask you for your medical records as a condition of employment. Now that Roe versus Wade was repealed, they can do that now. But everybody's only thinking about abortion. Abortion is a very small part of Roe versus Wade. I know that's not what you asked, but just saying. So there's going to be a lot of healthcare invasion of privacy going on throughout the country now that that has been repealed. But I mean, to me, the Supreme Court and her being basically, sworn in was cool for the black community as far as a figurehead. Kind of like how you have the Queen of England or a president or something. However, it doesn't really move me much. Oh, you don't understand overtime. All right, so let me explain overtime. All right, so the score is tied at the end of the game. Then they do a flip, a coin toss. Whoever wins the coin toss has the option to play offense first or defense first. Now, whoever plays offense first, all they have to do is score a touchdown. If they score a touchdown, they win the game, game over. If you kick a field goal or you don't score, then the defensive team now has the ball, and they either can score a field goal to tie it up again and send it into another overtime, or just end at a tie, depending upon when it is. Postseason, it's another overtime. Regular season, it's just a tie. If the second team or the defensive team then scores a touchdown in overtime after the first offensive team doesn't, then they win the game. Pretty simple, but I hate it. I don't like ties, especially in professional sporting events. I hate ties. It don't make no sense. Like, that's the thing. That's some soccer stuff right there. I don't like ties. But yeah, so what I'm concerned about is that today is Brittney Griner's first day in court. The two-time U.S. Olympic basketball gold medalist, WNBA megastar Brittney Griner, who currently plays for the Phoenix Mercury and also plays in Russia during the WNBA's offseason, was arrested on February 17th at a Moscow airport, where Russian authorities accused her of smuggling significant amounts of narcotic substances, an offense that was punishable by 10 years in prison. So Griner is currently being kept at a pretrial detention center north of Moscow. Her detention has been extended for 6 months, pending the trial's outcome, according to her lawyer. Now, earlier this week, U.S. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan, he reiterated that Griner was wrongfully detained, unjustly detained, and we have made that clear as an official determination of the U.S. government. No verdict is expected on the day of her trial, which is taking place at the Khimiki City Court outside the Russian capital. Charged affairs of the U.S. Embassy, Elizabeth Rood, has also arrived at court on Friday for the hearing. Griner supporters have expressed concern that the basketball star might be used as a political pawn, given rising tensions between Russia's invasion of Ukraine, which is what I think. Yeah, a little bit of puff, 10 years. Now, a lot of people have fell off with, following Brittney Griner. Oh, it was a hot button topic, but I really think this is just, it shows two things. It shows how little the U.S. is concerned about black people whenever they are involved in international incidents, and it shows how effed up Russia is right now. So there's two things going on, because I would hate to see someone so talented get 10 years for a little bit of weed. So there's that. Um, what else is going on? Now in the NBA, it got shaken up over the week with a lot of stars signing extensions for their teams. Like, all right, so free agency opened in the NBA on Thursday, and 3 league stars have already inked, extensions with their franchises. Like, so, the league MVP and Denver Nuggets star Nikola Jokic has agreed to the largest contract in NBA history. Jokic and the Nuggets have agreed to a 5-year, $270 million Supermax extension, which now ties the big man to the team for 6 seasons at a total of $303 million. It's a lot of money to play some basketball. Last season, though, Jokic had a pretty good season. It was 27, 13, and 7, almost 8 assists. So, I mean, it's money well spent, as much as they're going to make off his ass. Who else signed one? Karl Anthony Towns. He signed a $224 million Supermax deal with the Minnesota Timberwolves, and they already owe him $70 million. So he's right at the $300 million. Now, Memphis Grizzlies point guard. This is the one I wanted to talk about. The Memphis Grizzlies point guard, Ja Morant. The first 2 years you play in the NBA, you really make peanuts. You make, league minimum or rookie max, however you want to say it. After his breakout seasons that made him a household name and a superstar, he signed a rookie extension that will bring him $231 million. But this is the thing. He is guaranteed $192 million. And will be Supermax eligible, which could lead to a guarantee of $231 million. Now, with the Phoenix Suns rumored to be adding Kevin Durant to the mix, they locked in to keep their current superstar Devin Booker with a $224 million Supermax deal. So, there's that. Cats is making real money. Now, DJ Jazzy Jeff was recently interviewed. I'm trying to remember where exactly he was being interviewed. But he was asked about the Will Smith slap, and they said that Will Smith wasn't to slap the gangster, which he happened to reply, Will Smith is fearless. Will Smith jumped off a cliff into a lake when he couldn't swim. So he would have no problem slapping Mike Tyson if that was who it was. Will would have got his ass beat, but he was going to do what he was going to do regardless of who it was. So his homeboys know him best. That's all I can say about that. Now, as you know, it's July 4th weekend. It's white people's Independence Day. We had ours on Juneteenth. We already celebrated Independence Day. This is white man's Independence Day. So, take your day off. Take your days off. Go do something fun. Wait. Too much money. Who was worth that? So don't study and get us into space. Shoot baskets, money in sports, science, and math. Well, I don't know how much y'all astronauts make, but our astronauts make a pretty penny. And so does everything else. My question is, who's signing the checks? Because whoever signed the checks has more money than that. And they can't even play basketball. Like, I understand it's a lot of money, but you got to understand how much income they generate. Everybody's wearing their jerseys. Everybody's going to their games. NBA players generate way more income than they actually get. For the average NBA player only receives about 20 to 25% of how much they generate for the whole organization. So when you think about it like that, they're really getting underpaid. Like, yes, $231 million over 5 years. That's a lot of money. It's a lot of money for anybody. However, that's probably how much the owner spends on supplies over the next 6 years. They have these big cathedrals they call stadiums for them to play in. They sell their names and their likenesses all across the world, because once you are an NBA player, you are property of the NBA. So they can do whatever they want with your likeness, your name, your number, your jersey, anything they want to do to market the NBA, they can do. So you're pretty much signing your rights as an individual away as well. Now, I understand that math and science are more important than basketball, but entertainment is the highest paid profession in America. Because for some reason, 50,000 people aren't going to pack into a gym to watch somebody do a math problem. Neil deGrasse Tyson's a cool dude. But I mean, hero, I wouldn't say he was a hero because he read a lot. I mean, you gotta do something heroic. Like, I don't know, throw an 80-yard bomb to a receiver with 0 seconds left on the clock to win the game or something. Like, that's heroic. Like, doing some math problems and some calculations and reading on science and astrology really ain't gonna make you a hero. Achilles was the hero, not Homer. Anyway, got some jams for y'all. Y'all keep it locked. Hey, caller, you're on the air.
Yes, good morning.
Hey, what's up? What's up?
How are you? I just wanted to call in and tell you that you're doing such a great job this morning. Looking like you're solo, but I just wanted to give you a little company.
Oh, that's what's up. Appreciate it. Yeah, Pete just didn't show up this morning. I don't know why.
You know what? Maybe life. We don't know.
Life happens.
Yeah.
But nah,
I'll be back soon.
You be back soon? How soon?
Soon.
Soon, like Monday?
Not Monday, but probably the following Monday.
Also, next Monday you'll be back with us?
Yes, yes.
So how you been enjoying your vacation?
From vacation from
walking.
That's
overrated, right?
Overrated. Yeah, I sympathize with people who have mobility and transportation issues, because it is not for those who are weak at heart.
Not for the weak.
Like, it really, really poses a challenge. You know, and you don't want to always ask somebody, because you don't want to be a burden to people.
I do.
You know, everybody's been very, very kind to me. Don't get me wrong. Like, everybody's very, very nice. But after a while, you get tired of just asking for help. but I mean, I'm doing good. I'm in good spirits. I am, you know, I'm not hungry. I'm not, you know, homeless. I'm good.
Okay. Your boo thing been taking care of you?
He's been helping out. Yeah, he's actually we're in Alabama right now.
Alabama.
For my family reunion.
Oh, y'all having family reunions? Oh, family reunions are bad. Like,
yeah. Shout out to my family club, Roots of Alabama.
Okay. I hate family reunions.
Why?
Because, man, number one, I'm gonna tell you, there's a whole list, right? Number one, they're always really out of town. Like, who lives? Like what? Who in my family lives in Detroit, Michigan? Or, you know, like, it'd be like places like that. Like, nobody live in Detroit. And then, like, they be charging for the buses, the hotel rooms, and then, like, the entrance fee is like $50 to $100, and all you get is like one piece of chicken and possibly a hot dog. You know, I could have got all you can eat crab legs for $400. And I gotta sit here, and then this is the sad part. When I was a kid, we had to wait till all the elders and old people, and then everybody else ate. And now that I'm an adult and I'm paying $100, I gotta wait for the kids to eat first. like kids eating first is something new that we didn't do when I was a kid. Kids didn't have the privilege to eat first. But now that I'm an adult, kids eat first.
Kids still eat first. So
when did that change?
One thing that I was talking to my sister about it yesterday. Like, it's crazy. I'm just one generation removed from being the elders.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, you old.
on this at this reunion, my grandmother is the oldest. And then, like, that generation under my grandmother, which would be my mother's generation, like her family,
about to be the
half of
elders.
them, half of them are the elders because they're in their 70s and stuff, late 60s, 70s, and I'm next.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how?
And guess what? Remember how it feels to have to eat after some kids as an elder.
I'll make sure.
Nah, I'm just serious.
If you come to my reunion with me next time, I'll be like, he needs to eat first.
I will come. I'll pay my money if I get to eat first. I will. Because it's not just that, though. I'll tell you the other thing is that awkward moment when you see a fat ass at a family reunion. You're like, who your people? You are. Oh, okay. All right.
So the funny thing is, like, this side, I remember when I was like 12, there was I had one cute cousin. And I don't think I've seen him since, and I don't even know if he was really my cousin. But I just remember being at the pool every day and he was there. So.
Yeah, see, look at you being nasty.
I know, I was 12, so I'm forgiven.
That's exactly when they get nasty.
But yeah, my this reunion is actually it's usually really nice, very organized. I'm actually performing tonight at the banquet.
A clean comedy set.
A clean comedy set.
How much time you doing?
20 minutes.
20 minutes? You got 20 minutes?
Oh, yeah, solid.
You got a solid one. Oh, look at you, sounding like a professional. Yeah.
Listen, I got a good 8 minutes on this leg alone, so.
Oh, man. That's what's up, Ash. I want to hear about it.
Yeah, for sure. It's going to be a nice event. We got our little gift bags last night and everything, T-shirts and.
Oh, y'all get gift bags? We don't get gift bags. Let me say what we get. Like, what we get for our $100 is a T-shirt, a chicken wing or leg, and maybe a hot dog.
Oh, no, we eating good. I have to invite you to the next reunion to see how it's done because we eating good. We got a fish fry tomorrow and a picnic on Sunday and then we
well, that's my mom's side of the family. That's my mom's side. My dad's side of the family, they eat good. As a matter of fact, do you know Matthew Hahn?
Yeah.
Yeah, he DJ'd at one of my dad's side of the family reunion. He was the DJ because we needed a cheap DJ. He came through, yeah, and we fed him. you know how black people treat white people when they come around. I don't know why they just bend over for white people. I don't get it. I never understood it. But they try to make sure these dudes ate everything. They got they bet Matt gained 5 pounds eating at my family reunion.
Yeah. He was like, I'll come back here.
Yeah. He was like, wow, what are these? It was like, these are collards, man. Oh, those are so good. like real talk, bro. Like it was crazy. He was like, wow, this food is so good. I was like, why do you think black people are the highest in obesity? Because our food tastes good. I don't understand.
We eat so good. We eat good.
And I mean, like they go overboard my dad's side. Because number one, this is the crazy thing. My dad's side of the family, his reunion, free.
Wow.
Free. Absolutely free. There ain't no T-shirts. Ain't nothing but like 10 tents and a bunch of uncles out there grilling.
That's nice.
That's it. There ain't no events. There ain't no. We had a DJ and pops and all my uncles on the grill. But like
how many people or how many people you have in your like?
Well, like at the reunions, there'd be about like 100, about between 50 and 100.
Okay, that's good. Like, did your dad have a lot of siblings or?
My dad has 5 brothers and sisters, and his parents each. Like I think my dad's side. Okay, so this was my dad's mom's side. My dad's mom, I want to say, has 6 brothers and sisters. My dad has 5 brothers and sisters, so it's like a lot of cousins. It's a lot of cousins, a slew, it's a whole heap of cousins at the family reunion. But I mean, it's good. Like I said, it's just I can't say my mom's side of the family. Their reunions. Like there's parts of my mom's side of the family that I love and I cherish and I like them a lot. You know what I'm saying? But the family reunions be ass. I haven't been to a family reunion on my mom's house since she passed away. Since before she passed away.
Oh wow.
I'm not going to that.
Okay, Yeah, this is my mom's mom.
Okay.
So, yeah, this is one that's been going on for really, this is our 50-year, or last year would have been the 50-year anniversary of the Roots of Alabama Club.
Of the what?
Roots of Alabama Club. That's the.
Oh, that sounds like some stuff that's founded in slavery.
You said family with flavor?
I said it sounds like something that was founded during slavery.
No. No. Well, so little Ashley history. My great grandfather. This started with him and his 4 brothers and his 2 cousins, and basically, my great grandfather was born into slavery, but he was freed like immediately. So, I mean, we're not far removed from it.
No, we're not. We're not. Like my great grandfather was born a slave.
Yeah.
That's how far back it goes. It's not that far back once you realize it, because you got to understand. Let's put it like this: I was born in 1983.
Mm-hmm.
Like 115 years ago, there was slavery. 115 years before I was born, there was slavery. Only 115 years.
It's not a long time.
I remember going to cemeteries as a kid and looking at the dates of the people that were deceased, and there were people in the cemetery that were born in 1863 and 1860, which was during slavery. But they were freed, so that's why they're buried in the cemetery. You know, I mean, like, there were kids and there were babies born into slavery, but still, you were born a slave.
That's crazy. And it's, Anyway, Joe said I acted like 1983 was that old.
Hey, it ain't that. It is now. It is now. We were born in the 1900s. We were born.
Right.
Like for example, when you understand the context, the turn of the century is the turn of the century. Like from 18 to 19, we're from 19 to 20. Like people look at us like we're old now, because like especially when it gets to like 2050. You know what I mean? People born at the turn of the century, they're like, wow, that was so long ago.
Oh yeah, my nephews make sure to tell me that I'm old.
Yeah.
they remind me how old I'm going to be on my next birthday.
Tell your nephews to kiss your ass. That's what you do.
I'm not. By the way, look, I was when you talking to my nephew the other day, I was like, you can't say pissed off. That's a bad guy word.
Yes, you can.
But nah, not to him.
Hey, y'all gotta stop raising these kids so soft. You can say pissed off.
Not when he's sick.
When I was 6, I was saying nigga.
See,
I mean, and I'm not even exaggerating. That's not even a joke. We was calling each other, man, get out of my face, nigga. You know what I mean? That nigga tripping. Like when I was 6. But anyway, I got some jams, Ash. So,
yeah, go ahead. Do your thing.
Yeah, thanks, Mr. White Man. Yeah, it's going to be hot and sometimes rainy, but mostly hot. So before the break, interesting dialogue has appeared. Basically, I was talking about how I say nigga. And Sima, who's from the OZ, I think that's Australia, says they can not allowed to say it. And I'm like this, I'm not going to defend the use of the N-word for anybody that is not a black American. That word was created for us. That word is used in our everyday dialect. That is a peaceful exchange. It's a term of endearment. It's just a word that we happen to use, but it doesn't have the best history. Like, for example, you have Muslim students and your white people. Nah, y'all shouldn't say it. No. It's a word that we took back. You see, the thing is, not explaining to you. For an African American, nigga does not mean black person. For white Americans, it does. For white people, for basically anybody across the globe, nigga means black person, or some sort of offensive way to say black person. Whereas it was used so commonly throughout slavery and Jim Crow and Reconstruction, all those terms, that it was just used for us. We picked it up as it was just another word to mean person. So when we talking amongst ourselves, and even in front of some white people, we'll say nigga, because that's just a word that we use. Hey, what up, my nigga? It's not me calling someone anything derogatory. It's me calling you my brother, my friend, my cousin, my homie. But we just use the word nigga. You know why we use the word nigga? Because it was used against us so long. So it gets to this point now where white people are not allowed to say it. So because white people are not allowed to say nigga, they don't want nobody to say nigga because they don't want to be excluded. And then some will just say it anyway, regardless of how it is. I mean, they just say it because they're just not going to not be able to do something that some people are able to do. And those are the ones that get canceled. I'm not saying you can't say it. I'm saying you shouldn't say it. Because if you do say it, you might get punched in the nose or get punched in the mouth or something. If you're white. And it's that simple. It's a word that white people are not allowed to use. And honestly, it's a word that Asians are not allowed to use, Hispanics are not allowed to use, or any other race is allowed to use unless they're black. I mean, we don't get reparations. We don't have rights in this country. I mean, it's legal to own an assault rifle if you're not black. But I've never seen a black man walk down the street with an assault rifle and not get hassled by police officers. White people can do it all the time. The only thing that we have in this country is the use of one simple word. And people can't even accept that. It's pretty much that cut and paste, that simple. So no, your Muslim students that were not in bondage should be saying it. Nor should your African students say it. And of course you shouldn't say it. However, we can and we do. And we'll pretty much throw hands with almost anybody else who does use it in our presence that isn't in our demographic. Because that's when it's offensive. Because like I said, when we learned the word, we learned it as, oh, it's a person. When they learned it, it was black person. You see the difference there? It's a difference. So no, it shouldn't be used by Caucasian people. Shouldn't be a word that's even said. Use N-word if you're going to describe that word. You shouldn't be saying nigga. I can. With no fear of consequence. Because it's my word. It's our word. It's our word now. It's like Captain Phillips. This is our ship now. This is our word now. Shouldn't have messed us over. I mean, it's not like we're getting anything else. We can't even get Brittney Griner home from Russia. We can say nigga though. That's about all we can do. We can't speak our mind about anything politically or anything racially. We can't talk about cops killing us, and be taken seriously. But we can say nigga. Actually, there isn't. I did the research on that. There's no quota for how many times I could utter nigga on the radio. But at the same time, some people don't like it. And I understand why people wouldn't like the word. I mean, in its root form, it was a disgusting word. However, it was a word that was always used to describe us. It was always, by white people and things on those lines. But somehow, in my childhood, it didn't have that same power anymore. Like a white person call me nigga right now, it's not offensive. It's stupid, but it's not offensive. You're trying to be offensive, but it's really not offensive. I'm not like, oh my God, he called me a nigga, I'm gonna cry. Nah, it's more or less like, oh, you tried it, now I gotta whoop your ass. And I've been very peaceful about it, honestly, because I've let a lot of cats slide. A lot. I ain't gonna care. I let a lot, because it's like most of the time people will say it in a position where, you know, you don't want to mess things up for yourself. You don't, like, they might say it in a position, in a time where you're trying to, you know, get something accomplished, and you know that you can call me brother all the time. You can call me brother. That's not a problem. There's only one word, and that's the thing that's so hard to fathom for me is, why am I explaining? There's only one word you really can't say around me. Well, two, because I don't like GD either. I don't like no one using the Lord's name in vain. But outside of that, like, nigga's the only word you cannot say around me. And for me to still respect you as a person, it's just that simple. It's one word. One word you shouldn't say. Two, if you're religious. But one word you shouldn't say. You know, that word got our blood, sweat, and tears in it. Literally. We earned that word. We died for that word. We were strung up. We were denied civil rights for that word. That's all we get, is that one word. And I'm not going to let them take it from us. That's just simply how I feel about that. I mean, and that's just my personal opinion. There are black people right now saying no one should use the N-word. I don't believe in that. I don't. I honestly don't believe in that. I believe that they were brainwashed by white folks. Because I remember when it got to the point where it was, oh, white people can't say N-word, or white people can't say nigga. And then all of a sudden, white people in this whole, no one should use it then. Nah, it don't work like that. It would never work like that. Nah, we can use it. We can say it. I mean, you can't refer to my grandma, my grandfather as niggas in a derogatory way and get mad when I use it in a peaceful and loving way. We have basically took that word and changed it to something positive, something that we can be proud of. Throughout this despicable history of that term, we could use it in a way to show love and affection to each other. And that's my 2 cents. Anyway, more jams. Keep it locked. Yo, and that was that Biggie, One More Chance. Man, so that was that. Yo, peace with you, Simo. Have a good night. Man, there's so much stuff to talk about still left today. This is one of the conversations I've been waiting to have with y'all all morning, wanting to save it to the end. So, for those that don't know, they found a team of researchers, including the relatives of Emmett Till, the 14-year-old black boy that was abducted and murdered in Mississippi in 1955, has discovered an unserved arrest warrant for the white woman whose accusations led to his gruesome death. The document was found last week in the basement of a courthouse in Greenwood, Mississippi. Carolyn Bryant Donald, who up until as of May was living in North Carolina. Some say Carrie, even though I can't find any backing to that. Basically, her accusations of Emmett Till whistling at her led to his kidnapping and lynching, and she was never charged in the case. She is now in her 80s, living in North Carolina, and she is not responding to any requests to comment. So, as you know, after her accusation, her husband Roy Bryant and his half-brother J.W. Mellum responded by abducting Till from bed. They tortured him, shot him, tied a 75-pound fan from a cotton gin around his neck, and tossed his body into the Tallahatchie River. When he was found, he was unrecognizable with a crushed skull and a disfigured face. So they did him wrong. And to this day, I can't look at that picture without tearing up. Still to this day. Yet there is an unserved arrest warrant that everyone is calling to be served. And that's how I feel about it. If Bill Cosby can go to jail at 80, so can Carolyn Bryant. And that's what I just wanted to say. So, holla at your representatives. Holla at your local law enforcement. Call for the arrest of Carolyn Bryant. Arrest and charge. Not just arrested. We want her arrested and charged with accessory to murder for the lies she told. Your last years should not be peaceful. You should be in an institution and get drugged out your bed and beat down every day until you succumb to your old crippled, raggedy ass life. On to other news. I'm such an ass. Oh, man. So, Usher had, I ain't gonna lie, the second best Tiny Desk URL since I found out T-Pain can sing without auto-tune. Yeah, if you have Tiny Desk or NPR, check it out. And then on for the news of the day. Your boy R. Kelly got 30 of them things. But his attorney is calling the RICO charge he was charged under inappropriate and vows to appeal. So as we know, Wednesday, R. Kelly was sentenced to 20 years in prison after being found guilty of federal racketeering and sex trafficking charges. Following the verdict, Kelly's attorney, Jennifer Bonjen, says she plans to appeal the RICO charge. Look, R. Kelly, they're going to put you under the jail. They're going to put you under the jail. You still have federal charges to you still have charges you still haven't been sentenced for in other states. Bruh, the rest of your life, the rest of your miserable ass child smashing life is going to be behind bars. And I'm sorry. I mean, because you gave us great works. You wrote some of the best music on the planet. But let me ask y'all a question. If Carolyn Bryant wrote I Believe I Could Fly, would we tell her that she shouldn't be charged and crucified? He's a bad man, ain't ashamed of. I'm going to play that song too. I'm going to have to now. I'm going to have to play Bad Man because he's a terrible bad. And he's been charged, so I can't say allegedly a terrible man. Nah, he did some stuff, bruh. Yeah, I already talked about Ketanji Brown being sworn in. Congrats to Ketanji. But yeah, right now, I'm just focused on one thing. We're going to get an arrest warrant served to Carolyn Bryant ASAP. That's just one thing that I just really got to get done. I don't know, in my life. Maybe. And great news to those looking to buy a house. Data shows that the Triangle's housing market have cooled off for people trying to buy a house. Now, renters, we still getting screwed over. But the median sales have stopped spiking, and you can pretty much buy a house in the Triangle for $500K. It's a lot of money. It's a whole lot of money, but still, you ain't got to worry about spikes coming up. Well, maybe you do. I don't know. But right now, it's basically have been cool all of June going into July. As you know, after a highly consequential summit this week, President Biden and NATO leaders pledged to support Ukraine for as long as it takes. I wish President Biden would support African Americans for as long as it takes. But nah, Ukraine are white people, so of course they get presidents. Although few were willing to offer an actual time frame for the end of the conflict, Ukraine's allies ramped up their response to the war this week with new sanctions and more military aid. But it remains unclear whether these steps can change the battlefield momentum that currently favors Russia. Ukrainian President, I don't even want to say his name, Volodymyr Zelensky, urged NATO leaders to help him regain the initiative during a virtual address to the summit, pleading for more weapons and sustained support for the battles. On the ground, Russian forces left Snake Island in the Black Sea after Zelensky on Thursday said Ukraine carried out a remarkable operation Russia, however, claimed it withdrawn as a gesture of goodwill. All I know is get Brittney out of it, and then y'all get Brittney home, and then like maybe just both of them would explode or something. I don't know. I can't stand either one of those countries. They're both trifling to me. So like, whatever is the best way to get rid of both countries. Good morning, Jay Highness. Gotta say what's up to you. Oh, and I gotta say a very happy birthday to my uncle. My Uncle Dwight. I don't know how old he is now, but it's old. But yeah, we gonna party this weekend, yo. So happy birthday, Unc. Love you. Hope you have a good one. And that's about it for the news of the day. There really ain't much more to talk about. I think we done knocked it all out, and we knocked it out early. It's only 8:30, so that means I get to play some jams all for the rest of the morning. I'll be back later. You know, to say bye. But yeah, anyway, got some jams for y'all. I picked some of my favorite jams that I haven't heard. Some of them I haven't heard in a minute. Some of them I heard yesterday. That's only because that's how I looked them up. Anyway, y'all keep it locked. Yo, and that was that show enough. Man, it's been a great morning with y'all, kicking it, answering some emails, just doing what we do best. I'm out for the day. I'll be back Monday. I just want y'all to have a great weekend. I know it's July 4th weekend, but don't let that deter you from having a ball. You know, I know this ain't your holiday. For some of y'all it is, but for most of us it ain't. I know it ain't for me. I know my ancestors was picking cotton while they were signing that piece of paper that was written on cotton. Anyway, y'all enjoy a weekend. Be safe. Be petty. If you go to the beach and you see somebody drowning, hey, let the lifeguard do it. That's their job. Anyway, strike first, strike hard, no mercy. We out.